was on my way to work. I stepped down from the porch and I stumbled. So I got near the cars, I stumbled again. Got in the car, it got worse. I just had this feeling, just strange feeling. My speech it was messing up on me. I could tell it was messing up on me. And then I felt some tingling in my fingers or something. I called Calvin, my boyfriend, from inside the home because he was off that day. And I tried to tell him to call 911, but it wouldn't come out as 911. It'd say, He called the paramedics. The paramedic guy, he kept telling me, Chwanda, wake up. Look at me, Chwanda. I remember them wheeling me in from the parking area.
We were waiting for her in the CT scanner room. Neurology was there, emergency physicians were there. She was not moving at that point, but her eyes were open and she definitely appeared responsive.
And then I remember waking up in a room and they wanted to put me in a CT scan.
We immediately followed our protocol, which is to have her on the CT table in under 10 minutes. She arrived at 7:10 and CT scan start time I think was 7:17. The neurologists were watching the scan as it happens.
She had a clot in what's called the basilar artery, which supplies the blood to the brainstem. And when that artery is blocked off, it causes a syndrome called locked in, where the patient is alert and knows what's going on, but is paralyzed and unable to move their arms and legs. They do have a little bit of movement in their eyes, but that's it.
I didn't think that Chwanda was going to live. We pulled out all the stops and did everything we possibly could do for her.
So the neurology team immediately started contacting and speaking with her family members to sign on for her to be able to go to surgery.
They come into the OR with the ER team. During a stroke, time is brain, and we act incredibly fast. We get a full workup on them, get them to the table.
We enter into an artery in the leg and we thread up a small hollow tube inside the blood vessels. And we go all the way, we navigate all the way up until where the blockage is. And then we use a device that looks like a stent, and we deploy that so that it entangles with the blood clot, and then we remove it. Usually you can do it within about 10 minutes.
After that thrombectomy, we always hope that patients have recovery and that we minimize their stroke burden, but there's no guarantee. After the blood flow is restored, we have to wait and see how much function the patient is going to regain.
I was one of the neurologists who took care of her in the aftermath of the surgical procedure. Just because the clot is taken out, it doesn't mean that's the end of the work.
I woke up in the ICU. I couldn't see anybody, but I could hear them. And I could hear two people saying, move your fingers, lift your thumbs, wiggle your toes. So I was doing all of that. I can hear somebody say, nurse, she moved her feet, she moved her toes. And then I checked everything else once I got my, strength, and everything was fine. I was shocked.
I went up to go see how she was doing a few hours later, and I walked into a patient's room, and there was a woman there who was talking with her family. I immediately turned around to leave because I thought there was no chance this is not the patient. And then the resident on my team stopped me and said, "Where are you going?" "This is Chwanda," and I couldn't believe it.
She was awake, alert, oriented, talking to everyone, following commands.
So they took me walking around the hall, did great. I went up and down a flight of steps, did great.
The most amazing, wonderful outcome you could imagine.
Ever since I've had this stroke, I do look at life differently. 48, a stroke, I'm still shocked. And that I came out with nothing wrong. I almost died.
She was as close to death as I've ever seen anybody, and then come back and make an astounding recovery.
We have this saying in my family, if anything goes wrong, go to VCU. They'll fix you, they'll take care of you, They'll make sure you live.
VCU has a comprehensive multidisciplinary stroke care team that operates very quickly.
Even before the patient arrives, every second really does count.
When you have someone in that kind of a situation and you know it's life or death, then we all come together. It's amazing teamwork.
I've worked in previous hospitals and we have a lot more team just available for that patient.
To go from having a clot in the back of her brain in an area that's so potentially devastating to actually walking out of here with no deficit, I think that speaks to our comprehensive stroke care.
We truly made a difference for her life and her future.
And I thank the doctors and the nurses and the paramedics for taking such good care of me. I feel so blessed.